Some celebrities shine brighter than anyone else, while others seem to attract controversy wherever they go. In 2025, these 25 stars have faced intense backlash, rumors, and public drama like never before. From shocking scandals to unexpected fallouts, their stories are wild, complicated, and impossible to ignore. Ready to find out who's on the list and why? Let's dive in. Alec Baldwin's image has never recovered from the tragic 2021 set shooting, and 2025 hasn't made it easier. Legal proceedings have dragged on, with every update reigniting public debate. Some feel sympathy, others see recklessness. Baldwin's own combative personality on social media hasn't helped, often responding to criticism with sarcasm or hostility. There's also a growing fatigue with his volatility. Hollywood once embraced his larger-than-life presence, but now it feels like too much. Add in his off-camera scandals and courtroom drama, and you've got a star whose spotlight keeps dimming. In Baldwin's case, the drama isn't scripted, it's painfully real. Amber Heard's name remains one of the most divisive in Hollywood. Even years after her legal battles with Johnny Depp, the internet refuses to forget or forgive. Despite rebranding efforts and a handful of low-profile roles, backlash follows her everywhere. Fans of Depp have kept the heat on, analyzing every public appearance and picking apart interviews. In 2025, even unrelated projects get review bombed. For some, she's a victim. For others, a manipulator. The truth might be somewhere in the middle, but public perception rarely deals in nuance. In the court of public opinion, Heard still hasn't found her redemption arc. Adam Sandler has built a career on silliness, but in 2025, fans aren't laughing. His latest comedy was panned as lazy and uninspired, with critics calling it a glorified vacation with cameras. Even longtime fans are questioning whether he's coasting on nostalgia. While Sandler once had a charm that made even dumb jokes work, the magic seems to be fading. Add in whispers about phone-in performances and repetitive roles, and the sentiment is shifting. He's still bankable, but barely. The era of Sandler always wins may finally be ending. And for an actor once known for fun, that's not funny. Once hailed as one of the greatest actors in American cinema, Robert De Niro has taken a sharp turn in public opinion. His repeated outbursts and politically charged interviews have alienated a portion of his longtime fan base. Some say he's become more of a political commentator than a performer, and it's rubbed audiences the wrong way. Social media hasn't helped. Viral clips of aggressive rants and dismissive remarks sparked major backlash. It's not just about politics. It's about tone. Fans once admired his grit, but now many feel he's just angry. And for some, that's hard to watch anymore. Alyssa Milano's 2025 controversy wasn't a scandal. It was a contradiction. After asking fans for donations to support her son's baseball team, she was spotted days later living it up at the Super Bowl. Twitter exploded. Critics slammed her for hypocrisy, saying a millionaire shouldn't be crowdfunding while spending lavishly elsewhere. Milano defended herself, but the damage was done. Her long-standing activist image clashed hard with the optics of privilege. It wasn't just the ask, it was the timing. And in today's digital world, one bad moment can erase years of goodwill. For Milano, this one hit especially hard. Danny Masterson's name is now permanently tied to one of Hollywood's darkest headlines. Convicted on multiple counts of assault, he's serving a 30-year sentence, and the reaction was swift. Industry blacklisting, stripped credits, and public outrage. What made it worse was the support he received from former co-stars, drawing even more scrutiny. Any hopes of a quiet disappearance were crushed by media frenzy and survivor interviews. This wasn't just another celebrity scandal. It was a reckoning. For many, Masterson represents the ugly underbelly of fame. His fall wasn't a stumble. It was a crash, and Hollywood won't be forgetting it. Chris Brown's history is long and messy, and 2025 added another chapter. He was arrested in the UK after allegedly assaulting a clubgoer, reigniting decades-old anger. For many, this wasn't shocking. It was expected, despite chart-topping hits. Brown's reputation never fully recovered from his violent past, and each new incident cements the distrust. Online, fans debated again. Can talent excuse behavior? The consensus is shifting toward no. While he still commands a fan base, the tolerance is shrinking. His name is less about music now and more about headlines. And in today's climate, that kind of baggage doesn't just weigh you down, it buries you. Amy Schumer's fall from grace has been slow, but steady. Once a comedy darling, her jokes now draw more eye rolls than laughs. The old plagiarism claims resurfaced in early 2025, reigniting debates over originality in comedy. On top of that, her latest Netflix special bombed. Viewers found it cringy, preachy, and out of touch. She's also been caught in a few messy online spats, which haven't helped her image. For fans who once loved her raw honesty, the spark seems gone. In today's comedy landscape, being edgy isn't enough. You've got to evolve. And right now, Amy's stuck in rewind. Dr. Oz went from TV-held guru to political hopeful, and now to public punchline. In 2025, he made headlines again for offering his Florida ranch as a rescue for Canadian ostriches facing euthanasia. Critics didn't buy it. Some accuse him of a bizarre publicity stunt, while others question the science behind his involvement. After a failed Senate run and growing distrust over his medical claims, this latest move felt off-brand and opportunistic. Public confidence in Oz has dropped hard. Once seen as a trusted doctor, he's now more meme than mentor, and the internet isn't letting him off easy. The Ellen DeGeneres comeback never quite stuck. Despite stepping back after workplace misconduct allegations, she reappeared in 2025 with hopes of rebranding. But the public hadn't moved on. Viewers still remember the toxic workplace claims, the cold off-camera behavior, and the irony of her "be kind" motto. Attempts to relaunch a podcast fell flat, with critics calling it dull and detached. Fans used to see Ellen as the fun, dancing daytime icon. Now, she feels like a relic of a more naive era. She hasn't been canceled outright, but trust is gone. And for someone like Ellen, that's everything. Jennifer Lopez has never been a stranger to controversy, but 2025 hit different. At this year's AMAs, she locked lips on stage with a female backup dancer, and the internet imploded. While some praised it as bold, others slammed it as performative and tone-deaf. Critics accused her of trying to chase virality rather than artistry. Combine that with rumors of diva behavior behind the scenes and fatigue over her always in the spotlight brand, and you got fans finally saying, enough. Once the queen of reinvention, J.Lo may have pushed too far this time, and the backlash doesn't seem to be fading. Jack Black was once everyone's favorite chaotic good, but in 2025, that goodwill took a hit. After making a surprise appearance at a college comedy panel, he cracked a series of off-color jokes that didn't land. Clips went viral, and fans were split. Some said he was just being Jack. Others called it tone-deaf and outdated. His quirky charm is starting to feel stuck in the past, especially as comedy evolves. Critics say he's struggling to adapt without losing his edge. It's not full cancellation, but for a guy once known for timeless energy, this stumble proves even cult favorites aren't untouchable. Jada Pinkett Smith's image continues to unravel, and 2025 has only deepened the divide. Her tell-all memoir last year peeled back too many layers. Confessions about her marriage, Will Smith, and entanglements turned public interest into public fatigue. Viewers feel she overshared, not to heal, but to monetize drama. Now, rumors of a new reality series have sparked even more backlash. It's no longer about honesty, it's about overexposure. Some call it brave, others call it manipulative. Either way, the charm that once made her relatable is fading. And the more she talks, the less people seem to want to listen. James Franco's attempt at a quiet comeback hasn't fooled many. After years of silence following misconduct allegations, 2025 saw him land a surprise indie role, and immediate outrage followed. Critics and former students resurfaced claims of abuse of power, reigniting debates about accountability in Hollywood. Franco issued a half-hearted apology years ago, but it wasn't enough then, and it definitely isn't now. For many, his charm has curdled into arrogance. His defenders argue for second chances, but the court of public opinion seems done. When actors return too soon, or without real reflection, the backlash hits harder. Franco's return felt like that mistake. James Corden went from lovable late-night host to one of the most dragged celebs online. The downfall? A mix of public incidents, fake nice accusations, and a string of bad roles. In 2025, the internet still mocks his parts in Cats and the Prom, calling them cringe capsules. But worse, stories from restaurant staff and coworkers paint him as rude and dismissive, totally opposite of his on-screen charm. Fans feel duped, like they bought into a brand that wasn't real. In an era that values authenticity more than ever, Corden's cheerful mask has slipped, and underneath, people aren't impressed. JoJo Siwa went from child star to chaotic adult icon, and in 2025, the backlash is louder than ever. Her edgy rebrand confused fans who grew up watching her as a wholesome role model. But it was a viral clip of her mocking parents at a fan event that really turned the tide. Parents called it disrespectful, and longtime followers felt betrayed. Her bad girl era feels more like a PR experiment gone wrong, while JoJo insists she's just being herself. Critics say it reeks of desperation. Reinvention is one thing, but for Siwa, it may have come to wrong cost. Jared Leto's reputation in 2025 isn't mysterious. It's messy. Fans and co-stars alike are over his infamous method acting, which has reportedly become disruptive and even dangerous. One story from a recent sci-fi film claimed he refused to break character for months, even speaking in an invented alien language off-camera. What once felt immersive now feels absurd. Add in a failing fashion brand, a weird cult rumor that refuses to die, and endless memes mocking his ego, and Leto's credibility is shot. He might still think he's Hollywood's eccentric genius, but most people are just tired of the act. Jussie Smollett remains one of the most infamous names in recent pop culture history. In 2025, he's still fighting legal appeals over his stage attack, but public perception has barely budged. His repeated claims of innocence, paired with bizarre attempt at a documentary, only reignited the backlash. For many, his actions went beyond personal scandal. They damaged real conversations about hate crimes. Hollywood has quietly distanced itself, and attempts to re-enter the spotlight feel forced. Once a rising star, Smollett's name is now shorthand for deception. The fall was swift, but what's worse is no one's waiting for a comeback. Kim Kardashian's fame has always been polarizing, but in 2025, even her loyal fan base is starting to crack. Critics say she's gone too far with AI-generated content, allegedly using deepfakes of herself to stay camera-ready 24/7. The move sparked ethical debates and concerns about authenticity, especially as younger audiences seek realness over perfection. On top of that, a leaked clip of her berating a stylist didn't help. Once a master of reinvention, Kim's brand feels increasingly artificial, literally. The internet built her, but now it's questioning whether there's anything genuine left. And for someone who sells image, that's dangerous territory. Oprah Winfrey is no stranger to controversy, but 2025 has stirred something new: doubt. Once viewed as untouchable, she's now being called out for her influence, especially when it backfires. Critics point to interviews that felt invasive, friendships with problematic figures, and her role in boosting questionable health trends. Even her book club picks have sparked backlash. For years, Oprah's word was gospel. Now it's up for debate. Some say it's overdue accountability. Others say it's a media overcorrection. Either way, her public trust is wobbling. The Queen of Talk isn't canceled, but she's no longer off limits, and that's a shift. Rosie O'Donnell has never been one to bite her tongue, and in 2025, it's landed her in hot water yet again. A string of combative tweets aimed at fellow celebrities triggered major backlash. Add to that her long-running feud with Donald Trump reigniting, and suddenly Rosie is everywhere, for all the wrong reasons. Even fans admit it's exhausting. What once came off as bold now feels bitter. Her brand of brash honesty has aged poorly in a world craving nuance and empathy. Some still cheer her on, but many feel she's stuck in a fight no one's interested in watching anymore. Will Smith's 2022 Oscar slap still casts a long shadow in 2025? Despite apology tours and a handful of humble interviews, many fans haven't moved on. His latest film struggled, not because of content, but because people just aren't ready to embrace him again. The moment cracked his squeaky clean image, revealing something angrier beneath the surface. And with Jada continuing to share private details publicly, The couple remains under constant scrutiny. Smith isn't canceled, but he's complicated now. For someone once seen as universally lovable, that shift is seismic. The question isn't if he'll bounce back, it's if people want him to. Whoopi Goldberg's no-filter attitude has landed her in hot water repeatedly, and 2025 was no exception. A heated moment on The View where she dismissed a younger co-host's opinion as uninformed went viral fast. Viewers called it condescending, and the internet didn't hold back. Whoopi's long been known for her unapologetic takes, but critics now say she's crossing into mean-spirited territory. Add past controversies involving tone-deaf remarks, and the backlash feels cumulative. Some still admire her bluntness, but others say she's lost touch with today's dialogue. In the world of daytime TV, grace matters, and Whoopi's supply seems to be running low. Ezra Miller's downfall has been a slow-motion disaster. Once hailed as a rising star, their string of arrests, bizarre behavior, and disturbing allegations turned public opinion completely against them. From trespassing and assault charges to reports of cult-like behavior in Iceland and Vermont, the headlines just kept getting darker. Warner Brothers stuck with a flash longer than anyone expected, but it bombed, and so did Ezra's credibility. Apologies felt vague, accountability was inconsistent, and fans were exhausted. What started as concern became disbelief. Now, Miller's name is less about potential and more about how far a star can fall unchecked. Dwayne Johnson, once the people's champion, is facing a different crowd now. In 2025, whispers turned to headlines. Reports of diva behavior, strange demands, and chronic lateness on set caught fire. Allegedly, some co-stars even threatened to walk. The Rock responded with a vague acknowledgement, but the damage stuck. Add that to the flops piling up at the box office. And the public is asking, has Johnson's charm worn off? Some call it ego, others say it's burnout. Either way, fans feel the authenticity is gone. And what's worse, that massive smile might not be enough to fix it. So, what do you think? Did all 25 deserve the backlash, or are some of these just caught in the internet's crosshairs? One thing's clear. In 2025, fame is more fragile than ever, and the court of public opinion doesn't hand out second chances easily. If you found this list as wild as we did, go ahead and hit that like button. It helps more than you think. And if you want more deep dives into the unexpected side of fame, don't forget to subscribe. We got plenty more stories coming that'll make you question everything you thought you knew.